Hello friends, today I'm going to introduce you to a friend whom I met 30 years back in the year 1991 when I represented India under the Youth Exchange Program on the invitation of Japan International Cooperation Agency. Here, let me show you some of the pictures of the event and then we will talk to her. Welcome, Akiko.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
Dr. Ahmed, thank you. I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, you are really looking the same Akiko that I know since 1991. When I met you first time in 1991, you are looking the same Akiko, only a little weight you have gained.
Yes, not a little, a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Okay. Akiko, today, just, through this technology, thank God that we have this technology. I'm sitting in Kuwait, you are sitting in Japan, and we are meeting each other, as if we are sitting face to face in a drawing room, and we are talking to each other.
Yes.
Right. This is thanks to the technology. And thanks to, all the technology, all the scientists who have developed all these things for us, and thank to God who has given all these technologies to us. It has become possible. I was just remembering a few days back our visit of 1991. So I thought it is 30 years.
30 years.
That time we were just 29, 30 years old, and today we are 60, 61. Our children have grown up.
Yes.
They have got children.
Yes.
So I thought, let me revisit Japan, if not, physically possible, maybe virtually, on Zoom. So I decided, and then I was searching your numbers, but fortunately I found your number, and then I contacted you because I thought, let us recollect those days, that 1 month, we spent in Japan, so that's why the idea came to me, and I contacted you, and thank you that you agreed for this meeting. I really thank you for that, Akiko.
Thank you very much for inviting me to such a wonderful opportunity to talk to you. You're now in Kuwait. I cannot believe that.
You should come to India.
Oh, not to Kuwait.
You can come to Kuwait also. Why not? Why not?
Yes.
You're most welcome to Kuwait. You're most welcome to Kuwait. Yes.
Thank you very
Akiko,
much.
do you remember? I think first time we met in Metropolitan Hotel?
Hotel Metropolitan in
Tokyo.
Yes.
Yes.
That was October.
That was October.
In 1991.
1991. Yes. And now we are in end of 2021.
Yes, definitely.
Long 30 years.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you still remember, some of the friends who were in the group? I know that was JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency.
Yes.
Who invited us? The delegation from SAARC countries. And the countries,
South Asian
countries involved, South Asian Association for Cooperation, Regional Cooperation, SAARC. The countries were India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Maldives.
Yes.
These were the countries.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. And there were 100 people from these countries. And the largest delegation was from India because India is the largest country.
Yeah.
There were 30 members.
Yes, 30 in total.
30 from India,
Yes.
I think 20 from Pakistan, and then rest were from Maldives, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and all those countries. So it was total 100. Yes.
Yes.
And first time we met in Metropolitan Hotel. We
Yes.
flew from India. Unfortunately, I forgot the name of the lady, who came to India to take us to Japan.
Yes.
I'm sorry for that, really. I'm
her
not
name
able. I tried
is
my
Chie
best to
Takahashi.
recollect. Yeah?
You remember? Chie Takahashi.
Oh, yes. Now I remember her. She was a tall,
Yes.
slim lady.
And elegant.
Yes. She came to India to escort us to Japan.
Yes.
And we flew. We had 3 days training actually in a 5-star hotel in Delhi, New Delhi. And she was with us during those 3 days. Then we flew on Thai Airways via Bangkok.
Yeah.
Then from Bangkok, we had JAL, Japan Airlines.
Okay.
To Tokyo. From Bangkok to Tokyo, it was about 5.5-hour journey.
Yes. On the way to Tokyo.
Yes.
5 hours and a half or 6 hours.
Yes, it's almost maybe around 6 hours. Yes. And early morning we reached Tokyo.
Yes.
And then we were taken to straight to Metropolitan Hotel. Very nice. Everything was fine. And then we had our usual meetings, and it was there in the Metropolitan Hotel that we met you. And rather, we can say that we were handed over to you.
Yes.
Yes. You took charge of us. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I belong to one organization to take care of your group.
Yeah.
To provide the homestay program and seminar program with Japanese youth.
Yeah.
And also the observation tours to several places in Japan.
Okay. What I remember, Akiko, what is very interesting part which I remember was learning Japanese language. In a very short period of time, the way they taught us few words, rather they just put everything in our head.
To survive in Japan.
Yeah. One full day, we were just listening to Japanese and Japanese, nothing else.
And do you still remember the phrases?
Yes, not many, but yes, I do remember, like Ohayo gozaimashita.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Yeah, or konnichiwa, or konbanwa.
Konnichiwa, konbanwa, yes.
And
That's the 3 things.
Sumimasen.
Excuse me.
Like, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
These few phrases I do remember because later on, I was not connected to any Japanese people.
Yes.
But still, I do remember those few phrases. But that day, I tell you, and that gave me a lesson how languages can be taught. In a rapid fire session, something like that. Because that day, it was the next day, and then we were sent on a tour to Tokyo, and there were 2-3 Japanese with us, with one person, 3 Japanese. And they took us from morning till late hours everywhere in Tokyo, by taxi, by metro, and to shopping mall, to a small shop, to so many places, to a temple, so many places. And we didn't know Japanese. And those 3 persons, they didn't know English.
So you have to talk in Japanese.
So they knew only Japanese, and they were just feeding us, injecting Japanese into our minds. And by the evening, when we came back, all of us, and met again in the hotel lobby, then we were just uttering those Japanese words. That is, this is a great formula for learning a language, that you just keep on feeding, keep on feeding, keep on listening. When you listen, when you listen, ultimately you will start reproducing. That was a wonderful idea of learning, and I know that one day had given us enough Japanese where we can understand few phrases, few things, and that became very easy for us actually. So I still remember that the welcome that the Japanese people, the way they welcome their guests, that was excellent, awesome. No substitute for that. No substitute for that. We are still grateful that the kind of hospitality that we had in Japan, that was wonderful. Do you remember? We went to a prefecture.
Yes. When we meet.
We had 3 days program. We had 3 days program in a prefecture very close to Tokyo.
Yeah, I think you went to Gunma Prefecture.
Gunma Prefecture, yes.
Yes.
It was Gunma Prefecture.
Yeah. And the organizer there is Mr. Sumiya, who used to be an English teacher at high school in Gunma Prefecture.
That's right. Because we had interaction with the counterparts. Because in our delegation, most of them were teachers.
Yes.
All 30. From different parts of India.
Yeah, and your counterpart of Japan side is also teachers.
Yes, they were also teachers.
And some are university students.
Yes, yes. That was really great. 3 days stay, if I remember correctly.
Yes, starting from Thursday night and
dates, I don't remember. I'm not able to recollect, but it was 3 days. I remember that.
Yes.
It was 3 days. It was a beautiful resort, a beautiful hotel.
Yes. Yes.
And but the one ceremony which I remember, I want to recollect, those wonderful days, wonderful ceremonies. One ceremony that I remember was farewell.
Oh.
When we were leaving, and those Japanese friends, they were young teachers also. Very young teachers, very talented. Like, as you said, there was an English teacher who was mainly heading all that. Last minute, they made a kind of bridge with their hands.
Yes.
Arc type,
Yes.
One standing the other side, one this side, and made the arc, and then we had to go. It was like a tunnel.
Yes.
It was like a tunnel. And we crossed through that tunnel. Everybody started crying. Because that was the parting time. That everybody, we were leaving. We were leaving.
Yeah.
Believe me, in 3 days, we came so close to each other that everybody was crying. That we were leaving. And naturally, that was the last time we were not able to meet. And I think when we had the farewell on the last day again in Japan while leaving for the countries, 1 or 2 delegates, I think, came from that Gunma prefecture. Maybe that English gentleman, that English teacher, he came, if I'm correct. But that was, those 3 days, that was really unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, that was a moment when everybody was crying. That is, that was the relationship that within 3 days, within a short period of time, we had developed.
Only 3 days, right?
Yes, 3 days only.
Yeah.
So that was one thing, which I remember. And then, yes, let me tell you, we went to Hokkaido.
Yes.
We flew on Nippon.
Yes, to Sapporo.
Nippon means the rising sun, right?
Yes. This is just because geographically, the Japan located at the far east, where the sun rises first.
Yes. But we just had that. Okay, this was a domestic airline.
Yes.
Nippon Airline, domestic airline.
I don't think so. That was all Nippon Airlines. We say ANA, all Nippon Airlines.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we went to Hokkaido. That
Yes,
was
we
actually,
went to
Hokkaido
Hokkaido.
was towards the end of our visit, because from Hokkaido, when we came back, we came to Tokyo, we flew to India. But in between, we went to Hiroshima.
Yes.
And while
Kyoto.
coming back, and before Hiroshima, there was another place, I'm forgetting the name, that was a beautiful place. Beautiful place. You know, it was colorful trees. You know, there was a wooden hotel where we had our lunch. It was all made of wood. Colorful leaves, you know, tall trees.
You mean autumn leaves?
Yes.
So let me remind the program for you.
Yeah.
The first you came to Japan and you directly go to Hotel Metropolitan in Ikebukuro in Tokyo.
That's right.
And stay there for about a week.
Yes.
And then we shifted to other hotel in Tokyo.
That's
and
right.
Then we moved to Gunma Prefecture.
Correct.
To have a seminar there with Japanese counterpart.
Yeah.
And then come back to Japan, come back to Tokyo. Then flew to Sapporo to have a homestay and the local programs in Hokkaido area.
No, I think Sapporo was the last. Hokkaido was the last.
No, not only Sapporo, but also Tomakomai City.
Yeah, that's right. That's
you
right.
went there.
Yeah.
And you had a homestay in Tomakomai.
Homestay.
And then
homestay. I remember the homestay, and I remember. I'll tell you about homestay. That 3 days also. I'll tell you very interesting story.
And then we flew to Hiroshima.
Yeah.
And stayed there for 2 or 3 nights. And then on the way back to Tokyo, we dropped at Kyoto City.
Yeah.
Kyoto is one of the oldest towns in Japan.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now I'll tell you interesting part of Sapporo.
Sapporo.
The homestay program.
Homestay program was in Tomakomai City.
Yeah, but that is close to Sapporo, I think, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So the homestay program, you know, there was a ceremony, adoption ceremony.
Adoption ceremony.
Adoption ceremony. Yes.
You were adopted.
Yes, we were adopted by Japanese.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember the ceremony, you know, on one side, all Indians, you know, we 30 members were sitting. On the other side, there was a Japanese family.
Yes.
And at the front side, there were the elders from the municipality or, you know, from the government department. Yes. And they were naming one Indian and one Japanese family. the Japanese family would come, the Indian would come, and they would adopt the Indian as member of their family. And then we would go and sit with them. That was wonderful adoption ceremony that we became part of one Japanese family. So we were 30 Indians and there were 30 Japanese families. And each Indian was given to one Japanese family. And we became part of that. And then we parted from there to our families. For 3 days, we were told that we will not contact anyone, any Indian. We were told that, no, you will not contact them. You will not get their contact numbers. You will not get anything. You will be exclusively with the Japanese family. Okay. You know, I went with the family, very nice family. It was, I think, very big family. I was in touch with them for about 5-6 years, but then unfortunately my letters stopped dropping there. I don't know what happened. Because for initial 5-6 years, we were, you know, communicating. I wrote letters, I got reply also, but then suddenly the reply stopped. But I still remember the family. There was a gentleman, his wife, their mother. Then they had 3 children, 2 sons and 1 daughter. All excellent people, all excellent people. And we were there for 3 days. They took us for various festivals. There was, you know, festival of flowers, Akihabana.
Ikebana?
That was November.
Flower arrangement, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, flower arrangement in Japanese is called ikebana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very big flowers we saw, you know.
Ah, okay. In a base?
Yeah. And then to many places they took us to, you know, skating ring, ice skating, ice hockey.
Ah, yes.
Ice hockey. And then we did, you know, ice skating also. I didn't know. You know, but you know, those people, their daughter, she took me around. She took me, you know, around, and once or twice I fell down also. But that was excellent. That was excellent. And then we saw ice hockey. Their son was a member of the team, and we saw him playing. So that's a wonderful memory of that homestay with the Japanese family. I think your net, there is a problem with your net. Now it's okay.
Yes.
Now it's okay. Yes. So that was you know, Hokkaido. I think Hokkaido is the northern part of Japan.
Yes, actually, there are 4 major islands in Japan.
Yeah.
And the most north island is named Hokkaido.
Yeah. That's
and
right.
Above Hokkaido is Russia.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. But it's a beautiful place.
Yes, very beautiful place.
Yeah. And the people are very healthy there in Hokkaido.
Yes.
And
because
the last day when we were leaving for airport, and when we were leaving for airport, you know, to come back from Hokkaido, it started snowing on the way, when we were on the way to airport.
Yes.
So we stopped the bus and came out to see, to you know, just have an experience of snow.
Snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're welcomed by the snow.
Yes. That was really a great experience of, you know, homestay. I know their, you know, hospitality of the Japanese people and the way they treated us as their own family member. You know, they took care of us. Everything was excellent, you know, unforgettable memories, you know. I mean, you don't have to write anywhere. You just have in your mind, you know, those memories. And then Hiroshima.
Yes.
You know, the Hiroshima Memorial we visited.
Peace Memorial Museum we visited.
Yes. Where, you know, everything, you know, they had reproduced everything what might have happened. The tragedy of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That tragedy, you know, we could see. I mean, it looked as if we are experiencing the day, as if we are there, you know, on that day of that when the bomb was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We experienced that, and when we came out, we saw, you know, even we were very sad, and the school children were there. All school children were crying, and ultimately we also had tears in our eyes when we came out of the memorial, you know, that museum. So that was, you know, the tragedy of humanity, actually, which we could experience ourselves in that museum. That was excellent. And then traveling by, you know, that fast train, bullet train.
Yes, we went to Kyoto.
Yeah, it was, I think, 3 hours journey.
Yes, almost 3 hours.
Almost 3 hours, yes. Yeah, and that was first time that we were traveling by bullet train.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it looked like aeroplane only. The speed was maybe 300 kilometers per hour at that time.
Yeah, in average about 200 kilometers, probably. Not 300.
Maybe 200, but it was really very fast because, you know, in India at that time, our trains were like 50 kilometers per hour. And there it was 200 kilometers per hour, you know. When the aeroplane takes off, it takes off at that speed only. When it goes,
Yes.
180 or 190, and then it takes off. So that was the speed of the train, and the cleanliness, everything, the sitting arrangement, everything was like as if it is aeroplane only. It looked like that. So these are the experiences, that, now I'm feeling as if I am with you in Japan, and you are disciplining us, especially about, I remember one gentleman, he was from Ooty.
Ooty?
You remember? In India, he was a teacher in Lovedale School. I'm forgetting his name. He was in Lovedale. There is one, Shonu Mukherjee, she's from Sanawa. And this gentleman was from Ooty, Lovedale, in Tamil Nadu. Mathai, your memory.
Mathai, yes.
And
yes.
you are saying that you are
because
old?
His name is
and
the
Akiko,
same
you are
as...
saying you are old? No, you are not old. Your memory is very sharp.
Yeah, because Mathai is the same, Mathai has the same name from the Bible.
I see, okay.
So I remember, yes.
Okay, that's why you remember. Mr.
Yes.
Mathai was always late.
Yeah, he was keen on everything as a social teacher.
Yeah, social teacher.
Is that correct?
Yes, he was social studies teacher, and he was always late. And there was another gentleman with you. As a coordinator.
You mean the coordinator?
Yes, coordinator.
Mr. Kenji.
Yeah, maybe.
Mr. Kenji.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was put in charge of Mr. Mathai.
Okay.
that you have to carry him with you. You have to be punctual. That was, I remember Mathai, I met him once in India also. But then, he was not very social. Though he belongs to social studies, but he was not social at all. And
but every Indian teachers are so, memorable.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And you remember Arjun Puri?
Yes. He was from Eco House.
Eco House, yes. Eco House in Pondicherry.
Pondicherry, yes.
Pondicherry is now known as Puducherry.
What?
The name has changed. The name of Pondicherry has been changed to Puducherry.
Puducherry.
Yeah.
Puducherry.
Yeah.
Near,
he was from Eco House.
Chennai.
Near Chennai, yes.
Near Chennai.
Yes. Yes, near Chennai. He was from Eco House. Actually, Arjun and I, we used to share our rooms.
Oh, yes.
Arjun was the leader of the group.
Yes.
And I was the reporter of the group.
Oh,
we were appointed by the Ministry of, by the Government of India. When we were leaving to Japan, the delegation must have a leader. So, Arjun Puri was the main leader and I was the reporter of the group. We were appointed like that. So I had to report everything to the ministry. Ministry of Human Resource, and there was a part under Ministry of Human Resource. That time it was not Ministry of Human Resource, it was Ministry of Education. And under the Ministry of Education, there was a Department of Sports and Youth Affairs. And, the Mamata Banerjee, who is now the Chief Minister of West Bengal, she was the Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs at that time. So, as a reporter, my duty was to report to the ministry. If anything happening, whatever is happening, I had to submit a report, a written report, what we learned, what we did, all that. So I was the reporter and Arjun Puri was the leader. And both of us used to share the room in most of the places where we could not get single room, we used to share. So he was always my partner. Yeah. So that was the trip for 30 days. 30 days in Japan, and when we were leaving, it looked, oh no, we don't want to go back. Leaving people, such wonderful people like Akiko and, like people in Gunma Prefecture, then family in Hokkaido, all those experiences, it was very difficult to leave. It was very difficult, believe me. And today also, after 30 years, that memory is still intact, in the minds. And today,
thank you very much.
And today I have made another visit, to Japan. Virtual tour with Akiko.
I'm very happy to talk to you.
Oh, thank you. I'm also very happy. And God willing, we will be meeting soon.
Yes. And let's invite some other friends.
Yes. Next time we will have a meeting. I will try to connect to Shonu and Tanuja.
Shonu? Yes.
And Tanuja, I will tell them that let us have a meeting together like this.
Yes, yes.
Okay, very soon I will try to
and
do
not
that.
virtually.
Yeah.
Let's meet sometime.
Yes,
next year or after the next year.
Yes, yes, in 2022. Okay.
So I have one question. You are now in Kuwait.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
right. As far as I know about Kuwait, the Kuwait has very high temperature.
Yes, in summer it is very hot.
Oh, in summer.
In summer.
The summer, okay. So now it's okay.
Now it's okay. Now it's
because
around 20 now it is around 20 degrees.
Now 20
now
degree.
It's 20 degrees. But, but after 10 days, after 10 days, it may become very cold. It may become 10 or 12 also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but in the summertime is over 50 degrees, right?
Yeah, over 50 also sometimes.
Yeah. So I want to know, how do you survive then?
Yeah, this Kuwait is is a very
air conditioned.
Kuwait is a very rich country. In hot, they have like 24 hours electricity everywhere. There is air conditioning. Air conditions are there, and so it's not very difficult. It's very easy to survive here. It's the government is very supportive. Kuwait government is very, very supportive, and there is subsidized electricity. It's almost you can say almost zero. There is nothing. It is so much subsidized. Electricity is there, so there is no problem at all. We don't have big bills for electricity, so it's very easy and things are cheaper. So we can easily live very comfortably. We can live in Kuwait. I'm here for the last 20 years. Oh,
you stayed there for 20 years. Oh, yes. Very easy to calculate the numbers.
Very easy. 1991, 2001, 2021.
Yeah.
And who knows, we will remember 2031.
Probably you have another.
We have to be positive.
Wonderful, wonderful.
We have to be positive. Yes.
Future.
Yes. So let us plan a visit. You also plan. If you can come to Kuwait, you are most welcome. Okay. Anytime. And Akiko, I'm planning a school, starting a school in my hometown in India, which is just 75 kilometers from Delhi.
And to the north or to the south?
North.
To north.
North, yes. It is just 75 kilometers from Delhi, and in the month of March we will have the inauguration. It's a school. I'm starting a school in my village. And
you mean a dormitory?
Yeah.
With dormitory.
Yeah.
And how many students?
Initially, it will be built in phases. In the first phase, we will have for 400 students.
400?
But not all not borders. It will be a day school. It will be a day school.
Day school.
But there will be a provision for those who want to stay in hostel. There will be a provision for them. Yeah. So we're working on that. If you have time, if you can make yourself available, please do come and join us at that time. Then we will talk, many other things, because I want to talk to you about JICA, because we have to thank JICA for that. Japan International Cooperation Agency that invited us. Actually, we thank the JICA, because it was possible only because of JICA and the government of India. So we are thankful for that. That we had a wonderful tour of a country who is so developed, so peaceful. Visiting that country, visiting Japan itself is a kind of blessing, for us. Thank you, Akiko, for that you took us around everywhere, and meeting a
I am only
meeting
a
friend like you,
coordinator.
itself is a blessing. Having a friend like Akiko is itself is a blessing.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Anis, to become my friend.
Oh, thank you, dear. You're welcome. And we are really, happy to be together and happy to be friends.
Yes.
Okay. So very soon I will arrange, maybe next year in 2022, I will arrange a virtual meeting with Shonu and Tanuja. And maybe if you can find me number of Madhu. Yes.
I try to check her numbers.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, dear. Thank you for spending
see
your
you
time.
soon.
Thank
And
you.
have a
Bye
nice
bye.
Christmas
Sayonara.
and the New Year season.
Sayonara.
Bye.
Okay. Take care. Dear friends, that was a virtual tour. Again, virtual tour of Japan after long 30 years with the same coordinator, Ms. Akiko Matsugami, who took care of us, the delegation from India in the year 1991, when we visited Japan under youth exchange program. And this was a program for SAARC countries, and the Indian delegation was the largest. There were 30 members from different parts of India. I was one of those members, and I was the reporter of the group. And it was a wonderful time that we had spent in Japan, visiting different parts of Japan, having exchange programs, having indoor seminars with Japanese counterpart. And then the best part was the homestay, where we had to stay for 3 days with a Japanese family, and they adopted us as their members. And they took care of us like they take care of their own member of the family. That was wonderful. 30 years back, but the memories are still intact in our mind of that 1 month visit. 30 days, and now 30 years. That was excellent. Revisit Japan. Thank you. Have a great time.